Scholar, you're go. Back of the meet now, phone shell come now, I go in, let's just so forth, catch you back. And then I'll wait here, go back, over here, do it now.
Early summer 1983, a Duna Co. mining colony lifts off from the surface of Ike. This is being sent to Gilly as a preparatory mission for the planned Eve mission. The colony was actually originally sent to Ike as part of the Duna 1 mission. This mission having been completed, it was replaced with a more substantially upgraded version, resulting in this one being declared obsolete. However, it has solar panels, which means it works much better closer to the sun, meaning it would do just fine on Eve's moon of Gilly. Upon breaking orbit around Ike, the vehicle was lined up and fired its main engines for an ejection burn from orbit. Upon breaking orbit around Duna, it was then lined up for an ejection burn towards Eve. This burn would be much more expensive than planned, resulting in very minimal fuel in the tanks left over. However, it succeeded. During the interplanetary coast, it was discovered that the communications antennas on the vehicle were not exactly sufficient for the task at hand. It was decided that the Kerbals would bring along satellites for upgrading the communications while at Eve, so that way they could stream their latest TV shows without having to wait hours for it to download. Having coasted through space for roughly half a year, the vehicle approached Eve in the spring of 1984. Having finally gotten to its location, it began lining itself up for injection and approach to Gilly. The orbital capture went as planned. The vehicle braked into Eve's orbit, a very eccentric orbit, but an orbit that would pass by Gilly to minimize fuel required to intercept with the small moon of the planet. Much to the joy of the Kerbal Space Hunter, this burn had been completed successfully, even though they were completely out of contact with the vehicle during the entire burn. Upon breaking into orbit, they celebrated and had a snack. If you're liking this video, please subscribe or click the like button. Due to the vehicle being solar powered, it actually had to close and open the solar panels to allow the engines to fire without generating damage. This was a very ineffective method, but it proved to only be tricky a couple of times during this mission, such as during landing. The Ike capture burn actually required more fuel than anticipated due to one of the engineers being overly eager and setting the throttle to full, meaning they burnt more fuel than was actually required because they decelerated too much. Once in orbit around Gilly, they orbited, picked a landing site, and began their descent. This descent took hours, so good news, they had video games to keep them busy while the vehicle was actually doing its landing. The colony, having spent 2 hours descending to the surface of the moon of Eve, finally touched down, deployed its solar panels and its drills, and began collecting the fuel and energy required to make the fuel for the mission that is coming in about 2 months. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts on what you want to see next in the comments below. I release a new video every week for your viewing pleasure. I am the Astronut. Let's fly.